everyone, and welcome to another episode of TV Cast. I done forgot what it's called, but anyway, I am your host Dana, joined by Mr. Danny Martinez. How are you doing?
Good. I'm nice and fed now.
He is nice and fed. He means that both literally, spiritually,
The show.
TVally,
Yep.
faux sure. Gen Z, Gen V, episode 7, big plot twist of the story, Cipher. We got Annabeth. We got Emma. We got poor Kate. Kate just wants to be redeemed, y'all. Do we trust her? Do we not trust her? Some inner battles going on. He's shaking his head. He's like, no, don't trust this white lady. She gonna do you wrong. So I guess we'll just start off from we have an entire Annabeth and Marie reunion that does not go according to plan, or at least according to the Marie's plan. What are your thoughts on that one? Because I was like, oh, we together. She was like, no, we're not.
I mentioned this when we were reviewing the first 6 episodes. I didn't like the hypocrisy with Annabeth, because she had power. She understood what it was like when they manifest and she can't control them. And it was even more so obvious that she shouldn't have blamed her sister, because she mentions that she had the dream that her parents died in a bloodbath. So she knew what was going to happen, even though she was still trying to figure out her power, sure. But she knew this would happen. And then she was like, it was just easier for me to blame you. And I'm like, are you serious? So her character pisses me off. It's just,
I understand her.
You ruin your relationship with your sister because you didn't want to man up to your own powers in the own situation that you were put in. So you'd rather just alienate your sister and go live a life with your, what was it, her aunt or something?
Yes. But here's the thing, though. At the same time, you have someone who's older than you, right? Who killed your parents. She now has that same power. And she is afraid of, one, what she could do, not to others, but also to herself. And she is afraid of becoming what her sister, in her mind, oh, my sister murdered my parents. She is afraid of what she could do as well. So in a way, you can understand her kind of being upset, even though it's misplaced anger. You can understand her being upset at Marie, because that whole situation. Now, I think that everything was wrong in its totality, especially since no one kind of sat them down to explain everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of it could have been avoided if we had better communication. But for storyline points, nobody communicates. So this is where we end up with this situation. So I kind of feel I understand where Annabeth is coming from. And so that conversation where she finally sits down and it's like, I don't want anything to do with you. And, Marie we've known since season 1 that Marie has always kind of wondered where she's at. She could, I'm wondering, now that she does know, is it more of, I am at peace with us not having a relationship because I know that's what you want? Or is it, look, we're going to drag you into this situation no matter what? Because we do see her, she dies, she's being rescued. There's a lot of things that happen with both of them at the same time. So who knows in that regard? So do you think that there will be some kind of peace treaty agreement between the two?
No, at least not for the rest of this season. Maybe the next season to kind of have a bit of closure before this series ends, unless one of them die for whatever reason. But I just see a lot more back and forth of just, oh, you don't understand my side of things, you don't understand this, and there's just again, like you said, a miscommunication between the both of them that's just going to constantly be going to cause some friction, some storytelling. I can't stand her character, just the way that she is, and she treated her sister that way.
If you woke up to your parents being slaughtered and you see your brother sitting there
if I woke up and I saw this dream and stuff, I mean, multiple times and whatnot, like say something, do something, understand something. Like you understand more than your parents and your aunt that you were staying with, that when you manifest powers, they can be chaotic, they can be dangerous, they can be misused. But she'd rather just be like, oh, it's all my sister's fault and there was nothing I can do about it. I don't understand what my sister's going through. She's just a dangerous soup. But she's a dangerous soup too. She's not in a sense physically, but she's a freaking psychic. And she should have understood that like her powers can be chaotic as well.
Or you can make the argument she didn't understand her powers. How about that?
So it just like Marie didn't either. I mean, she only manifested because she was, I think she was in the middle of having her period. Like,
yeah,
her hormones are going nuts.
Yes, but you know, I don't know.
I know it's for the sake of storytelling, but it's just frustrating in my perspective of the way that she went about it.
Yeah, it is frustrating, but you do know that they still do care, because we're all trying to figure out what's going to happen with Marie and with her powers. And there is that situation where, you know, her being Annabeth is kind of wondering, you know, could she be hurt? She's getting a lot of visions. She doesn't understand what's going to happen. And there is that sense of worry there. So if you have those dreams again, where you're starting to see disturbing visions, do you think that this time she'll be like, you know, I didn't pay attention to the first ones? What about the second ones? Could she kind of focus that and be like, I'm going to be on your side because somebody's going to get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the show, it shows that she's taking the visions seriously, especially because you can't ignore them anymore. Like she's always hurting now. She has headaches and stuff when she sees these visions. But then now it's involving her sister, so she's trying to save her. So yeah.
So you say she loves her.
Well, sure. I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm just saying that the circumstances could have been dealt with a lot more differently growing up when they were growing up.
Yes. All right. So then we gotta talk about Cipher then, because the whole purpose of this season that we're now learning is we gotta stop Cipher. We just didn't know what, who, or how was Cipher. We didn't understand his powers. We understood nothing. And now we got all the meats and the potatoes and the vegetables, and they gave us this whole meal. They're two separate people. That Godolkin is still alive, as everybody kind of assumes, especially when it comes to there's no body. Anytime there's no body, that means something is happening. But now we have a body. We saw the body. It's a hot mess of a body. We saw what Anne Marie and everything else was involved with that. And now we have the whole Thomas Crown affair situation of it all. What are your thoughts? Because you was technically right and then technically wrong and then confused.
About the twist?
Yes.
No, I wasn't confused at all. I called it.
You said, "Oh, he's Godolkin."
No, I think you misunderstood what I said through text, though. I was saying that, yes, Cipher is Godolkin in the sense that Godolkin was controlling him as a puppet. I understood that from the moment. So when he first revealed his powers, you know, Cipher we're talking about, when he first revealed his powers, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, he can like puppeteer somebody. And then a couple of times throughout the show, in general, they would touch on him not feeling anything. Like he doesn't feel anything. And I'm just like, that's got to be a clue, because at first I was thinking, okay, maybe he has additional powers that he's not talking about. But then like he kept smacking the body of Godolkin and kept abusing the body. And then, you know, we talked about this before in episode 1 through 6 review. I was like, well, maybe he really hates him. Like he wants to prove Godolkin wrong. But after what solidified it for me was this episode before the reveal, was that Polarity threw the weights at him and it was some heavy weights, and he was like, don't you know you can't hurt me? Like I don't feel anything. And in my head, I was registering that with him smacking Godolkin and stuff, and I was just like, the pain is the connection. So I was like, I know what the twist is going to be. I know exactly what's going to happen. So I called it from there. And so it's revealed that Godolkin was controlling Cipher, which is some guy who worked at Blockbuster, he said. So it's just some nobody that he was controlling, and I guess it hasn't been established yet why, but I guess he's been grooming. Yeah, I figure he's been grooming Marie to get more powerful, so that way he can get healed, which is what happens at the end of this episode. And it was still very good, really, really good twist.
See, you're better, because I'm like, is this a Katie Vick situation? Like, why is he slapping him around and obsessed with his body? No, let's not go there. But no, I did figure like, oh, he really hates him. He's taking out his anger. I didn't picture the pain part, because I'm like, there are plenty of Supes, and we've seen superheroes throughout who just don't feel pain. When you get, for example, Superman, when he's all powered up, not a emotional 20-year-old something in a James Gunn movie, he knows how to not feel the pain anymore. And so I thought that was how it was. I thought, oh, this is his power. And then it wasn't until like you put together the clues about not eating, and then you're like, oh, that's weird. Is he a vampire? I don't know what's going on. Why is he obsessed with why is he obsessed with the blood? He's a vampire. Soup. This is gonna be fun. And of course I was wrong there. But there were many clues that were sprinkled throughout. But I did like the twist. I like the twist that they happened to be two separate people, that Godolkin was controlling Cipher. Cipher is just a regular person with no powers at all. And so then we get a whole nother like emotional feeling of what is it like to be it is a WandaVision kind of situation where you're stuck and you're controlled by this person. You have no control over your body.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you might slap around Wanda a couple of times when you get a chance. We all saw Agatha all along, how angry those people were. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And I would have, I want to know more about the regular person being taken advantage of by a Supe. I mean, we've seen kind of something similar to that in The Boys, but this person had no say in anything. Like you said, Blockbuster, which is a wonderful store that an entire generation does not know about.
I used to manage one. It's old I am.
So yeah, that was, I thought, was really fascinating, and I did like that. But the entire point of Godolkin's existence is that it's kind of like a invincible situation. Let's get the most powerful Supes together. The weaker ones, we don't need them, and we see how that happens. Poor children. So this is a terrible university to go to, just in general. Some skull and bones action. It's just terrible. But what are your thoughts on the concept of, we got to have the best of our kind? And of course, that bleeds into the whole boy situation, what Homeland's doing over there with the alt-right.
I'm wondering how they're going to connect the two, because it really seems like these are very much two separate stories going on. Because Godolkin has pretty much he has a connection obviously in the world, but story-wise, he has no connection to what's going on with the boys right now, because the boys is like their focus is on Homelander and trying to stop Homelander, and Godolkin's trying to pretty much bring out more Homelanders in a sense, like people just as powerful. He's trying to create like a new utopia with Supes just as powerful as Marie and Homelander. So I'm curious how they're going to connect the two in any sense, because we still got at the very least, crossing fingers, one more season of Gen V. I think it was Kripke who made a comment saying, it depends on how well season 2 does, and we'll get a season 3. And then at the end of there's after credits for this latest episode where we see Butch. So I guess they're gonna work in some way to try to connect each other and stuff. So I don't know how this is going to connect with Homelander and how they're going to try to stop him unless it's what we talked about before in the last review, and they'll have like a bout between Butch versus Homelander versus Marie.
I just had a thought. Oh my gosh. So remember how we saw that Marie was able to heal who was it that she healed? She healed Polarity. Remember she was able to heal Polarity? So like he's healed because we was like, oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he's healed. Butch, remember when he took Gen V? Well, I'm sorry. Remember when he took VV? Regular V, right? Remember he was dying every time that he could heal him. So then what is it like to have a healed Butch with full suit powers?
I think that's
going after Homelander.
That's what you call either plot armor or Deus. What is it? An ex machina. It's just too convenient. I mean, not to say it's not good storytelling. I think it's funny because you're probably right. That's probably what's going to happen. But that's mighty convenient writing there.
Well, if you look at Gen V, if you look at the boys as a whole, there's a lot of convenient stuff in there.
And
then you look at Gen V, also a lot of convenient stuff in there. So, it's more for fun. I don't think it's like the serious thinking thing. It's like, it's more of, oh, look, this kind of feels like our world already. And then you're like, oh, no, it is our world by the time it's over with, which is a story unto itself. But yeah, I think I kind of like that concept because if you have that going on, you know that she's able to heal people. That makes their side much stronger in a way. You can make that argument because no matter how much damage you take, you're being healed.
Like for herself or for like an opponent?
She can heal others.
The others. I guess. I mean,
he's like, no.
No, I'm not saying it's not, it's completely plausible. I'm just thinking to myself, because so far they've shown her healing people such as Annabeth, was that her sister's name? Annabeth,
yeah, Annabeth.
Polarity, and Godolkin. Each time it seemed like it was taking a lot out of her. So like you saw the nosebleed, and then when she also healed Godolkin, which was practically his whole body because his whole body was wrecked, like she passed out almost. So it takes a lot out of her. So it's not like an infinite life glitch where she could just stand there and heal infinitely. Like there's only so much that she can take.
That is true, but we never know what could actually pop off or what could happen. I don't know. It should be interesting. But speaking of healing, she don't heal Kate.
Oh yeah.
She heals everyone but Kate. And I know Kate, she was just her. That girl was angry. You know something was boiling on the inside. Does Kate deserve to be healed?
I think she did. Past tense, did. I think she did because I think she was genuine about wanting to help and change her ways. But I think because of how resistant everyone still is and untrusting they are, that's going to cause her to still flip. I think that she's still going to be bad and still be like mad about them resenting her and not giving her a chance. So if she gets her powers back, or even if she doesn't, because her powers still technically kind of work, they just kind of go the wrong way. So she could still use her powers and still do malicious things. And that's what I see happening. Either that's happening, in my opinion, or she's gonna go the extreme route of trying to redeem herself, and she's probably gonna like sacrifice herself at the end of the show.
Here's what I kind of agree with you when it comes to that, her sacrificing herself at the end of the show, is this. The actress who plays Kate says about Kate that Kate doesn't like to take, it's not necessarily not taking no for an answer. She really wants to redeem herself. And she is at that point where she could force that redemption, whether you like it or not. So she's going to force you to make her be right because she wants to be right. And you're like, no, she's going to make sure that you know that she's right. So that's where she could have that sacrifice, which like, do you believe me now? And then, I don't know, explodes into the sky, but she saves the day.
Yeah. She's got no attachments in the show, really, other than trying to redeem herself to her friends. So her dying doesn't really cause anything future wise for the show or for the story or anything like that. She doesn't have a boyfriend. She's got no family, involved in the show itself. So it's like she can sacrifice herself and finally prove her worth, and then that'll be done with it.
But is that too on the nail? If it's like, I have no one. Therefore
you just said there's a lot of convenient writing on this and the boys. So yeah.
I don't know. See, sometimes it's convenient to be convenient, and then you're like, maybe I need that convenience. I don't know. I'm a little confused, because then I like the character of Kate, even when she was crossing everybody, even when we had that big finale, and they was kidnapping the kids and taking them to different places, and she was right there, like she touched them, and I think she whispered something, and then they all turned evil or whatever it was. But yeah, I've always liked her. I think that I wonder if she is afraid of herself, though, of like what could happen. Because here's the thing. The thing about Kate that I find interesting, she doesn't have an identity without her powers.
Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, I need my powers to do this, or it's I need my powers to exist. I don't know who I am without the powers, and not having these powers and not going very well, because I still don't know who I am as a person. So I would have loved for them to explore that a wee bit more, and we might get that more. I don't know what's going to happen in the next season, or I do know the next episode, but still the next season, who knows? But I am wondering if Kate is able to find out who she is, then those powers will come, either through Marie or some, I don't know, conveniently written scene where it's like, I'm powerful again, and then who knows, she turns.
You make me think that maybe like her powers aren't messed up to begin with. It's more of like, do you remember Spider-Man 2 when he was when Tobey Maguire was very unsure with himself and he lost his powers for a while? So maybe that's like the situation with her, is that she's so conflicted with all the stuff going on that it's actually herself doing this to her and she doesn't realize it. So maybe when she finds her identity, or she finds like, the power of friendship or whatever it might be, her powers are back. Like she never needed Marie to heal her.
See, now is that not a Disney ending? I just needed to love myself.
Yep.
And then she dies. You have that. And then she dies. We just want her to die, I guess, at this point. Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. So then we kind of have that situation. So do you feel that Marie is in the right or in the wrong? Because I'm like, you go, sister. You don't help her, colonizer, who's tried to beat you down from season 1 to now. I don't trust her. Do you think Marie was right?
Wait, what are we talking about for Kate?
Marie said
involving
no.
Kate?
Yeah, she said no. We're doing
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't blame her whatsoever. No, like I said she should have been redeemed a while back, because she was trying to prove herself. But I would still 100% back up Marie's decision, or any of the group's decision, on not trusting her, because like it's not like it was just a one-off. Like Marie even said so. You betrayed Kate, you betrayed Jordan, you betrayed me, you betrayed all these people multiple times. Like, how the hell were we going to trust you? So it's completely valid for her to say no.
I completely agree. We don't trust her, but she will be Captain Save-A-Ho at the very end. So we have to also talk about Polarity. Polarity has gone through it. I honestly thought he was going to be a throwaway character when it came to this season. But of course, obviously, the real life death of Chance, who played Andre, right? That, of course, threw things into a different set of emotions. So now he is out for justice. He is trying to avenge his son. And so he's playing a much larger part in this story now, where he finds a way to kind of stop Cipher's mind control. But of course, it has its own set of consequences. I think we had this discussion previously. We were like, is he going to make it? I don't think he's going to make it. It just doesn't seem that way in terms of I don't know if he's gonna get a season 3 because he might end up where Kate hopefully ends up. But I'm just kind of wondering that, now that he is able to be healed, will he, do you feel, become more of a stronger player within this group? Or is he going to be like, I got you guys this far. I can't go any further.
I guess that could happen. He would really be an asset to the group when it comes to, like, fighting any future Supes, fighting the seven, anything like that they're going to try to connect with the boys and stuff. He would definitely be helpful, but I could see him like just putting his so-called cape down and just not doing anything, because after dealing with the loss and dealing with the school stuff, the school drama, and then I would hope, or I would think, that if you're ending this season, you're already going to stop Godolkin in the next episode. So if they do, it'll be like closure for him and be like, oh yeah, I'm kind of done. I don't need to do this anymore. I need to kind of just live my life and honor my son and yada yada. So that could definitely happen. Or he just dies. He could just be a martyr and dies and just be like, this is for my son, and just do some Magneto shit to him and try to stop.
Black Lives Matter.
Oh god. Yeah, more of the political stuff that we talked about. Yeah, it can go either way. I would prefer that he stays. I like him. I would prefer that he stays and becomes a bigger asset in the next season, if not the boys. I guess that just depends. I'm wondering if if he wasn't even supposed to have this big of a role. I'm wondering if the actor that died, if he didn't pass away, I'm wondering if that role was supposed to be his, like the whole like stopping Cipher and becoming like the hero and his powers doing something, and of course he was I think he was getting the tremors also, wasn't he? So yeah. so maybe Marie was supposed to heal him, and then he becomes kind of like the hero, but obviously they had to write him off and they probably just pass it along to the father, which still makes sense.
I never thought of that, because yes, you're right. Remember, it's a genetic disease that they have, which again just shows you how vast her Marie's powers are. Where it's not like, oh, I can control some blood and kind of beat you up and maybe sew you back together. She's bringing people back to life, but she's also able to cure you of genetic diseases through the blood. She can control DNA. It seems like to me. She can heal it. So it's a whole system that she's able to do. We need this in real life now. There's a lot of things to be healed. Come on. But yeah, we're seeing just how far her powers go, which is way more than what Homelander can do. He could laser beam you and punch you and rip you apart, probably move really quickly. But if she can focus in on you, she can, I don't know, give you AIDS or something by the end of the day. Whatever it is, you wake up and look at you. You got a blood disorder. Full-blown AIDS. Just skip HIV. You got the AIDS. So that is what can happen. So I find that to be interesting. Where I'm starting to think that once we have, if we even have that showdown, I think the fact that everyone wants a showdown, the writers could be like, ha, you're not going to get it.
There better be, because if we didn't get a showdown for Peacemaker, there better be something for the boys and
who are we showing down with in Peacemaker?
Freaking, at the very least, Rick Flag Sr.
Oh.
Or the alternate reality brother.
See, I wanted the Justice League to fight with the new Justice League. What's going on there? Because they are not the same. Where's Lobo? Have Lobo fight Aquaman.
Lobo's going to be in the Supergirl movie.
I know, but have him fight Aquaman. Where's Supergirl? I wanted some, and this is
getting drunk in another planet.
She's getting drunk in another planet. She saw this like, nah, I'm not messing with this show. I saw the ending. Bye. So, so then what's really interesting with this whole thing is how do you feel the other characters? We have a whole Emma, she's a whole Emma. She's not a half Emma or even a big Emma. It's a whole Emma in this situation. Then, of course, we have Giancarlo still running around in the background, even though we don't see him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was able to see, like, hey, I bring my friends. And he's like, no. And she's like, I'm not going. Do you think that Giancarlo Esperizo, which I just completely butchered that name, is
Yeah, you
going to make
did.
some kind of appearance? You would know how to say it.
For this last episode coming up, you mean?
Yeah. You think he's going to just be like, bye, peace, and then, like, that's
Um,
it?
no. You're right. I mean, I could see it happening for sure. They didn't. I mean, he kind of just showed up everything was just said and done, and that was it. So, I could picture him kind
Mhm.
of showing up, kind of like I can't remember her name, but Julia
Jordan?
Louis-Dreyfus character from
Yeah.
Marvel, kind of like
Her?
putting together. No,
Oh,
just in
Val.
general, like yeah, Val. Like she like Giancarlo's kind of like that character is like now he's gonna bring
Mm.
together a couple characters or a couple heroes, sorry, to kind of get together and start, because he all he wants is his empire back. So yes, he's gonna use them for whatever his means are, but he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, I'm putting a team together so we can stop these Supes or stop Homelander or whatever it might be, so he can gain back power." So he could absolutely show up in the last episode and even like at end credits or something and be like, hey, this is
Okay.
the plan, this is what's going on, and that'll connect the boys with Gen V.
Okay. I like that. So then, kind of sprinkling, they're trying to still do because it's teenagers. Let's have a love story and a rocky relationship in the middle of like fighting for our lives. The entire Marie and what was it, Jordan situation. It was Jordan,
Yeah.
yes. Jordan. I'm not here for it just in general because I don't see the purpose of it. Do you feel that I guess it just to fit with the tone, you gotta lighten some things up while you're like not dying in between?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just don't think
Okay.
it's important. I think it really does is give a motivation for Jordan to try to like help him protect Marie.
Uh-huh.
um but I honestly I don't feel a chemistry since the beginning. I never felt a chemistry between them. Um, I never felt no emotional attachment. Honestly, I feel more for the conflict that's going on with Emma and Sam. Like
Yes.
what's going on with them feels a little bit more natural, a little bit more chemistry with that stuff, and Sam being jealous with that new boy, the one that could fly. I don't know his name. Um,
Flyboy.
the Flyboy. um, the, that seems a little bit more interesting to me, and the reason why is mostly because I want to see how Sam handles it all. Because he explains it in this
Mm.
episode is like, I don't know how to feel about jealousy. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how to handle it, but I'm gonna try to do my best. And I want to see if he snaps. Does he go back to his psychotic ways because he can't handle the jealousy? Does he handle it like a mature adult? Does he kind of just wreck things with Emma, or does like maybe Flyboy just dies and Emma's like, well, Sam is trying his best to be as sane as possible, so maybe I'll give him another chance, and maybe like they rekindle things. Like I'm more curious of how things might go with them.
I thought that their storyline and their relationship was really the heart of the story. Yes, you have Marie is going to be the big captain, save a hoe, everything. But I thought it was going to truly be those two just because of how they met, everything that has been together, the way how he is struggling with basically just existing, what's it
Yeah.
like being out, all the different revelations with him and then the brother and the dead and he's able to see different things. That's what I thought. I thought that they would be like the main focus, and I missed that focus. Um, There's a lot of more heart and tenderness to that. And you don't know where he's coming from because he himself doesn't know how to handle things. And the fact that he said, I don't know what this feels like or what to do, that I feel that is such an honest thing, a way to kind of express it, and saying, I just don't know.
Right.
I'm honestly really mad at Emma for going with Golden Boy because it's like, it's not even like, okay, I'm gonna end this relationship. You're doing this in front of his face, essentially. And that is so just, it's so, and you know how he is and how sensitive that he is and how unpredictable. And I'm not saying, oh, you should be afraid of what he's going to do. Don't do that, but just have some kind of sympathy in general. Like, it's so messed up, I feel.
You're right, because there's a part where that same scene where he talks about his jealousy. Just before he talks about his jealousy, Emma says, oh, he's just a friend, but if he wants to like do stuff to me, he can. If again, I'll let him because it's my business and yada yada. And in my head, I was like, whoa, calm down. Do you know the mental issues that this guy has, and you want to talk to him like that right now? Like you could like reject him, but take it easy. Like he doesn't know what all this is like. He's never had a relationship before. You girl, you took his virginity. So how do you think he's gonna feel when you see him, when he sees you with another man? So like, just chill. So I was like really bothered by the way that she reacted in that sense. But then after, once Sam started getting his dialogue and saying, you know, I don't know how to handle this, but I'm gonna take it as I can, the best as I can. She looked like she stayed shut. Like she looked stupid when she was just standing there quiet after he was trying to express his emotions about all of it.
See, here's the thing, and I'm kind of wondering, did she do that on purpose to provoke him? And what did she want to be provoked? Was it like he was gonna grab her and be like, "No, you're mine," and then they just make out right there? Or did she want him to just stomp away in anger, and she'd never see him again, and then she'll be worried about where he's at? I don't understand her motive for that. It seemed very childish, and yes, they are technically children, but my goodness, it seemed childish.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't, and after everything that she has been through, when we've learned, or she thought people were her friend, or were actually not her friends, they just wanted to see her get big or get small or whatever it was, use her power. They used her as a fetish, basically. And this is how she would treat someone else. And it's just like, I don't like you. I don't like you. And if I was like, hey, who needs to go? She can go to along with Kate. Because I don't trust Kate. I trust Kate more than I do. Here's the thing. Emma has been through, they've both been through a lot, but Kate has been through a lot more stuff. Emma's acting like a petulant child who's incapable of communicating. He technically doesn't know how to communicate because of how what he was gone through. So you step up, and this is the thing. She showed so much maturity in the previous season, and even within this season, so much maturity of how she handled Sam, that I thought she was going to be the better person and the leader of this, and to teach him and walk him through things. And this is what this feels like. This is what that emotion is. And instead, she's trying to provoke him, and she's acting like a child because her emotions.
And you saw the leadership. You saw the leadership aspect of her for a while because she was involved with the whole
operation thingy.
The operation stuff, you know, putting posters up and starting like, you know, that, hey, I don't even know the words to put it, but like, yeah, she was involved with like the hippie stuff that they were doing in that room with the other students and things. So like, I thought that she was going to build up her character more as more of a leadership role, or more of an anarchist, but like a good anarchist, you know? But yeah, that kind of just came and went. Like nothing really came of that.
Nothing came of that. And that's kind of when I kind of get frustrated with this show a little bit. We're letting go some of the outlandish stuff that I think is just for shock value to give us actual story. And I'm starting to see the story is not stirring. I'm confused. Like you have like big pieces you can work on, but when it comes to little things like this that meant so much in the very beginning, it's just all falling apart. And you could say, oh, that's kind of like a relationship. It just all falls apart. But like, I just don't understand what her motive is from going from this kind and caring, thoughtful person who's ready to take the lead to like acting like the 10-year-old. It's confusing.
Yeah.
She's not the one with multiple personalities. He is. And he's more mature. He sees puppets. She's acting like a puppet. So yeah, it's very frustrating for me. But so then we talk about there's the whole jealousy. You know what? He gives me vibes of what. Don't say anything when you get the boy who ends up shooting up everybody because of how you treated him.
Sam, yeah, I can see that.
Sam,
I get that.
And we have Godolkin who wants to run around killing a bunch of Supes to make the stronger soup. He survived technically some of the experiments. What happens if he's like, "Hey, buddy, your little friend don't want you no more"? How does that make you feel? Jealous. Well, let's work on that jealousy. And the vow situation. Remember with the dude, his name, I can't remember him.
The what?
The dude who was the dude with the dude who became like, I'm darkness. The Void.
Oh, we're talking about Marvel. I thought you were talking about somebody in the show.
No, I'm just saying. He right now is able to be manipulated because of his feelings and he doesn't know what to do with it. So if I am Godolkin walking around on the campus, looking for the best and the brightest of who I wanted to be, and I'm like, we got to get rid of all these weak people, and I see that he survived all these different experiments. He's very vulnerable right now. I would automatically go to him. He was rejected by Emma. Emma's doing everything that she can to test him, and she's feeling her little self, or big self, or all the selves. Don't be upset if he's now the Kate of the group. I just don't. I'm confused. I don't know. But yeah. But the whole thing is, he does still seem to have a mission. So he's still with the group. So we have not lost him psychologically yet. So that is a plus. That's a plus thing. I hope that whatever happens, they don't end up going into anything further. But that right there seems to be a good thing. Then we have to deal with, we already talked about, Annabeth is dealing also with a lot of guilt of her not trusting the visions, which we kind of talked about. So you're like, yay, that redeems her. I love her so much. I can see the love in your eyes for Annabeth.
Nope.
You're like, no. Then we already talked about the big cipher of it all, but now we have like the big cliffhanger. What did you think about the ending?
With Godolkin?
Yeah, I mean we talked about Godolkin.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
He was the big character.
I mean, he's pretty much the big bad now. Like it was revealed he's the big bad, and now he's
always the big
awesome. Bad. Well, I mean, but now we know he is the big bad. Like Godolkin, everybody thought, especially Marie, that they thought that Godolkin was going to be their savior because he knows how to help, stop the Supes and everything. But he actually wants to build a Supe army in a sense. But I didn't get much emotion, or like, how like when they reveal a big bad in any like movie or a TV show, you can kind of get a sense of like fear or like of a sense of just like worry of like what this person's capable of. I didn't really get that with him. Like, although the twist was really good, once he was actually revealed and he did his little villain monologue and all that stuff, I was just like, okay, all right, let's see what else I mean, we already know what he's capable of doing because he could control people like puppets and stuff. But like, I didn't like get like a sense of just like freaking Thanos just walked into the room, So it was just the twist itself was okay, but his character, the way he looked and the way he acted, his energy and everything was kind of just eh. And then when he killed that guy with the diaper, like he was just like, oh, you're a worthless soup, worthless power, so you're dead. And then he choked the life out of him, and I was just like, okay, so now you just killed a student on campus. What is exactly you're gonna do? You're just gonna kill Supes one by one? Like, that's not very how do you say
smart.
It's not smart. It's not easy to do. Like, what is your actual plan? I'm very curious of what that is. So it was
there is one. I could tease that.
Okay.
There is one.
Yeah. It just left a lot. It left a lot of wanting, like for like his introduction.
I liked it because it was a little teaser of like, I don't deem you to be worthy of living, so I'm gonna just choke you and keep on walking. Mm-hmm. And that is just how he kind of views human. It's not even about humans versus Supes. It's about Supes now.
Yeah.
Just in general. So that makes it even more scary, where you're like, oh, I'm the superior. Look at it right now. For example, he wants to go after those people. So say you're a Supe. Homelander wants to go after those people. We're already a part of that group, of his group. So we're good, right? And then it's like, oh no, now he's coming after. There's another threat where it's coming after us. And now we're in Guantanamo Bay or something. But you get what I mean? You get the hierarchy of within the, I can't even say racism, is powerism.
Yeah. I just got a dreaded thought, like, that I would love to see in a TV show. Like, they've already been pushing the envelope, and there's a lot of shock values in both shows. I would honestly love at the end of the series, Homelander and Godolkin work together and they win.
Yes, I want villains to win.
I would love to see the reaction of viewers.
Have we have a proper villain winning story? Because you would make the argument Thanos, but Thanos in the end didn't win because then they reverted everything back and now everyone's traumatized.
Yeah. No, I think most of the time when you see villains win, it's like horror movies.
That or like comic books.
Well, right? even then though, when a villain wins, they still eventually lose. Like Thanos. Like Thanos, for example.
Yeah. Well, I want one to win-win. And here's another thing that I'm kind of slightly getting upset about. I don't want you to be redeemed. I don't want my villains to be redeemed. Here's the origin story of someone killed his pet turtle and now he's broken inside so that he wants to break other people. Just let him be evil to be evil. I miss that. Sometimes people are just born evil and they carry out evil ways and they win.
Mm-hmm.
It's life. So I love that concept because then it's like Homelander gets great, but you're thinking too small. Godolkin is like, you need the best of the best. Mm-hmm. You don't need every suit to win. We need to weed it out more. Make America. I'm not sure, but there is a teaser thing of just for example, I think we've seen it on The Boys. Make America soup again.
Yeah.
Right. Even then, if you look at what they're doing, we want the best of the best.
Right? Or another theory, because Homelander is full of himself. Homelander is very much like, I'm the strong one. I'm the apex predator. I want to be at the top. Maybe he wants to stop Godolkin because he doesn't want Godolkin to create a society of strong Supes that could possibly overpower Homelander. Homelander wants to be at the top. So that's a reason for them to fight each other and have a little bit of conflict.
Or we're thinking too much. Godolkin kills Homelander. Season 5 is it. There's no season 6 of The Boys.
Yeah, I don't. If that happens, that better happen at the last episode, because I don't think they cannot do a season, a majority of the season without Homelander.
No. We're talking about finale of the finales. No, like the final, the after credits. No, Godolkin, because of it's like, I want the best of the best. You're insecure, you're drinking boob milk. What's going on with you? You're walking around with this other Supe who, is telling you what to do. Remember Sister Sage? She's essentially the brain of the operation, literally the brain of his operation. You're not even that smart. I don't want anything to do with you. Boom, you're dead. So then Marie, we already know, is the best of the best, right? We're just going through a power set. She seems to have way, like I told you, boom, you got AIDS. So you have that situation going down. You got Sister Sage. Now I'm wondering about Sister Sage. Maybe she could outthink this entire situation. That just makes her the smartest. But let some black people live. So she got to live. And then they team up to kill Godolkin at the end of season 5. Because if we do have a season 3, figure this way, I do feel that it's going to be them versus the Godolkin at the end, right? But that's season
kids.
3.
You mean the kids?
The kids. Him versus the sorry. So the kids versus Godolkin. That's going to be season 3. But remember how it's going to go. It's going to go, we're in season 2 of Gen V, sorry. We got Gen V, then we're into the boys, then we're into Gen V again. So, like you said, words, Dana, like you said before, we have the big battle. Who's to say that they even end up with like Godolkin dying at the end of this season, right? So we're in season 2. Who's to say that that's even happen? Maybe they do some more kind of recruitment when it comes to, we need you over at the boys, like they did with, you remember the boys ended and it bled into Gen V?
Yes.
And it was like that whole Nirvana song. I was like, that was
they had Kimiko actually talk for once.
Kimiko, right. So then now we bleed back into the boys and like, we need you. So Godolkin is established as the big bad at the end of season 2. Season 3, this is how we get the big fight. Here we have Godolkin, we have Homelander, we have the girl Marie, and I don't know, Sister Sage is somewhere in the back with popcorn, right? So this is how Homelander's like, we should not kill all the Supes. And then, as you said before, Godolkin, we're gonna kill everybody. No. So then he's exploded. He's dead, right? So then it bleeds into Gen V that time, and now Gen V is taking over Godolkin, who has now replaced Homelander in the 7 and in that big main storyline. And then that's how we bleed back into Gen V. I don't know. I'm not Sister Sage. My thoughts probably go crazy. So it could, maybe, it's possible. Anything is possible at this point. Or we could just have an entire season of puppets. And that's it.
It's just Dana doing this the whole time with her finger puppets.
No, I don't like this. This seems a bit too racist, even for me. No, we must kill them all. Kill the Supes. And this is the whole show. So, is there any other final words for the? Oh, is there any kind of Jen? Nope, I'm getting them confused again. The boys' characters that you would like to hey, we exist. What's going on? Popping up. We got one more episode.
No, not really. It's nice. It's nice as there's Easter eggs here and there, but I'm ready for the boys, and I'm ready to finalize this whole series. I think maybe watching the boys, maybe it would be nice to see some of the Gen V kids.
Oh yeah.
Make some use of their powers real quick, especially because Giancarlo's character is more involved in the boys than he is in Gen V. But because now he's kind of involved with both, he can kind of introduce some of the teens to the boys show. So we'll probably see that. And if anything, maybe I'd like to see Sam kind of cause chaos and fuck something up because he's pretty much the strongest of the bunch. That's pretty much it.
Yep, I kind of agree with that. We'll just have to see what ends up happening. But I would love to see some characters go in there. Obviously not Homelander, not yet. We got to save that for like the big moment. We don't want you in here, but I think it would be nice to get. We still have the resistance going, and remember they were a part of the resistance, and then not part of resistance. It was kind of weird. And when everything happened, when they got kidnapped, let's go back to the kidnap story. Let's have some characters in here. Wasn't Starlight on the run? We don't know what's going on over there with that. I don't know what the Deep is doing. The Deep is just like in the middle. But I don't think he would serve any purpose to like have a cameo appearance because why?
By the way, I really like what Amazon has done when it comes to this show structure. I think this is something that should be done with more shows. I mean, obviously, we'll probably get critique. Not with yes, the weekly thing too. Sure. I don't like the whole upload everything at once and you binge it and then you don't hear from it for like another 2 years. What I like is to have your main show and then kind of have a spin-off show and still have it kind of connected. It doesn't have to always connect perfectly. So it's almost like you always have something to watch in that world that you love so much. So it's like, imagine everybody's making fun of it now. Like it took 5-6 freaking years to make the last season of Stranger Things. Like these kids now are adults and they're still riding bicycles and acting like they're middle schoolers or whatever they are. It's stupid. It's incredibly it's incredibly stupid that we're still expected to look at them like kids. But what would have worked in a sense is like have Stranger Things and then have like some spin-offs of certain characters, let's say, just as an example. And so that we're still invested in the world and the characters. And by the time that season of that spinoff ends, we're ready for the next season of the main branch. And then it's the side branch, and then it's the main branch, and then it's the side branch. Because what happened with Stranger Things is that I don't care anymore. It's been 5-6 years. Like, I don't care. I'm going to watch it because I want some closure for a show that I've been watching for God knows how long. But like, I just don't care. And it's stupid that it's taken this long. So the way Kripke and Amazon has done this, I think has been great. And I think more shows should take example from this, because I think people are tired of waiting 2, 3, 4 years for the next season of the show that they love to come out.
I think that they've been doing a really great job in general, even though the Invincible has taken a while.
Yeah.
That still is kind of good.
Yeah.
It's a while. But, their shows are good. I think we'll see what happens, and I think it might be good. But with this one, I do like what you're saying, and I completely forgot that we're getting Vought. So even if we're done with Gen V, we do know that the boys is retiring, and in that retirement place, we'll end up with Vought. So it is that continuous. That is what Marvel shut up dead with their shows.
It's hindsight.
Oh, now we don't even know if we get season 2s of anything, hardly.
No.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. And that's basically, back in our day, we had TV shows that would come on every fall without fail. And they were 22 episodes.
Like 20-something episodes, yeah. But that was burnout for the writers.
But they got paid per episode. Back in the day, they gave people money. So, yeah, that should be really interesting. So, is there any final thoughts on Gen V?
I'm still enjoying it. Loving the connection, and just, I don't mind a season 3. I'll watch season 3, hopefully.
All right. So, we got a season 3. It's going to be interesting. Just kill Kate.
Just kill Kate.
And then we'll be fine. So, I have been your host, Dana, the plot that twists, along with Cypher's puppet, Mr. Danny Martinez. And we will see you when we see you. Oh, and we do have interviews. We do have Gen V interviews. I interview Marie and Polarity and the showrunner. That's an interesting one with that show there. But yeah, we have some interviews, and that'll be up when I get those files back. Thank you. But those will be up, so look out for that as well. And of course, we talk about other things. We just dropped a video for wrestling and AI. Ooh. So I have been your host, Dana, once again, joined by Mr. Danny Martinez, and we'll see you when we see you. Have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever the day is for you. Peace. And here we go again. Did it stop?
Nope.
No.
You were like 5 seconds late from getting 1 hour exactly.
Oh. Did it end?
Still recording.
I should just leave it at it. That should be the